Coast of the Roman Empire, year 117 AD. Torches flicker along watchtowers. Guards scan the horizon for pirates or smugglers. They expect sails, oars, maybe a few raiders. What they get instead is silence, followed by thunder. Not a storm, not Zeus. Rotor blades. Out of the night, two massive CH-53 helicopters appear, skimming low over the water. Doors slide open, ropes drop, and one by one, figures descend. 100 Navy SEALs hit the ground running. No banners, no fanfare, just the quiet arrival of the most elite warriors on Earth. Their mission, nothing less than the impossible. Bring down the Roman Empire. There are no reinforcements, no supply chain, no time machines sending ammo crates from the future. Just the gear they carry, their training, and one shot at rewriting history. This is a pure sandbox what if. Forget paradoxes, forget realism nitpicking. It's a clean experiment. One SEAL platoon versus the greatest empire the ancient world has ever known. The clock starts now. Rome controls 60 million people, 30 legions, and a capital defended by the Praetorian Guard. The SEALs? 100 men, 3 days of rations each and enough ammo to fight a handful of battles. That's it. So the question isn't just can they win a fight? The real question is, can 100 modern warriors destabilize, shock, and fracture an empire built to last forever? Let's find out. The SEALs don't land at Rome's gates. That would be suicide. Instead, they pick a patch of swamp 55 kilometers south of the capital. The Pontine Marshes. Thick reeds, clouds of insects, mud that swallows boots. Even Roman patrols avoid this place. To the SEALs, it's not a nightmare. It's cover. They have 7 nights, maybe less. By day 10, malaria will hit, batteries will die, ammo will run thin, the swamp will turn on them. But for now, it's the perfect hideout. No watchtowers, no merchant piers, no patrol riders to sound the alarm. Just silence. The plan is simple. Hit Rome before Rome knows it's under attack. They stash extra gear in waterproof bags, dig shallow fighting holes, and launch drones. Thermal optics sweep the roads, spotting Roman patrols long before they get close. To villagers, nothing seems different, but in the reeds, an invisible war has already started. Each SEAL carries 3 days of MREs, 9 mags for the rifle, 3 for the sidearm. That's it. Every bullet, every battery matters. They ration night vision and radios, recharging with tiny solar panels and hand-crank generators. Every movement is calculated, every sound controlled. There's no holding ground, no fort to defend. The mission is to shock, destabilize, and collapse Rome's confidence in its own power. And the countdown is already ticking. 7 nights to shake the empire, or die in the swamp trying. 100 men, that's all. But these aren't ordinary soldiers. They're US Navy SEALs, forged through training so brutal that most who try never make it. Weeks of cold, exhaustion, and pain, designed to break the human body. Those who survive become specialists in one thing: winning when winning looks impossible. Their weapons are decades, even centuries, ahead of Rome. Each SEAL carries an M4A1 carbine with suppressor, accurate to hundreds of meters, and capable of laying down fire the Romans can't even comprehend. Sidearms for close encounters, M320 grenade launchers for blasting through walls, gates, or formations. C4 explosives, flashbangs, smoke grenades, and claymores. Tools that turn battles into chaos in seconds. But the real power isn't just hardware, it's the way these men fight. They move as one organism, radios and encrypted headsets keeping squads linked like a hive mind. Drones sweep the skies, night vision goggles cut through the dark, thermal optics reveal heat signatures behind stone walls. In a world lit only by torches, the SEALs own the night. Still, they're not invincible. Each man carries only 9 magazines. Each battery has a countdown. Each drone, each scope, each light has a limited lifespan. Every trigger pull and every flick of a switch eats away at their future. The Roman Empire rules through fear and numbers. The SEALs plan to rule through precision and terror of the unknown. To Rome, they won't look like men. They'll look like demons with thunder in their hands. The SEALs lay out their options. Option A: march straight into Rome. A bold move, but also a suicide note. 10,000 Praetorian guards, fortified gates, and a city designed to crush uprisings. 100 men kicking down the front door would last minutes. Option B: build a rebellion. Arm peasants, spark resistance, Bleed the empire from within. It worked in Afghanistan. But here, no maps, no allies, no time. Rome controls the grain, the roads, the taxes, and the fear. Building an insurgency takes years. The SEALs have maybe a week. That leaves option C, shock campaign. A war of shadows. Hit fast, hit hard, then vanish. Create chaos so loud that Rome doubts itself. Strike aqueducts, torch grain stores, assassinate commanders, cut communications. The goal isn't to hold ground or win pitched battles. The goal is to shatter confidence. Psychological warfare becomes their weapon. In a world without radios, without satellites, without flashlights, even a single drone buzzing overhead looks like witchcraft. A flashbang in the dark is lightning with no storm. A suppressed rifle is thunder with no clouds. The SEALs don't just want to defeat Rome, they want Rome to fear the night. The plan is set. 7 nights, 100 SEALs, 1 empire. If they move with speed and precision, they might just break the unbreakable. If not, they'll vanish into the swamp, remembered only as a nightmare whispered by survivors. Night 1. The SEALs move out. Their target isn't soldiers. It's Rome's eyes and ears. Watchtowers along the coastal roads rely on signal fires. One flame lit here can warn the capital by dawn. But what happens when the flames never come? At 3 a.m., suppressed rifles crack the silence. Guards collapse before they can shout. Ropes of C4 wrap around wooden beams. With a muffled blast, the tower crumbles, and the night goes quiet again. By sunrise, no fire burns, no messenger rides. To Rome, silence is more terrifying than battle. Next, the courier stations. Riders carrying orders and tax records vanish into the dark, their scrolls burned, their horses scattered. The SEALs leave behind false trails, boot prints leading nowhere, broken branches suggesting armies that don't exist. Roman patrols march in circles, chasing ghosts. On night 2, they strike again. A stable near the Appian Way erupts in flames, cutting Rome off from fresh mounts. Written orders, reports, and tax logs are shredded and set alight. Villagers wake to smoke and chaos, but no one knows who struck or why. This isn't about body counts. It's about doubt. In a world where news travels by torch and horse, destroying the chain of communication is like deleting Rome's hard drive. The Senate waits for signals that never arrive, messengers that never return, and the whisper spreads. Something unseen is stalking the empire. Rome doesn't run on loyalty alone. It runs on water and grain. Cut those, and even the greatest empire begins to starve. That's exactly where the SEALs strike next. Using drones, they map an aqueduct snaking through the hills outside the capital. By daylight, it looks untouchable. Arches of stone carrying fresh water to thousands. But under the cover of night, 2 SEALs crawl to a support column, strap C4 to its base, and retreat into the shadows. A single muffled blast drops a section into rubble. By morning, fountains run dry, baths are silent, and panic whispers through the streets. Why has the water stopped? The next night, they move on the granaries. Rome's lifeblood, warehouses stacked with wheat to feed millions. The SEALs don't torch everything. That would reveal too much. Instead, they burn just enough stores to cause chaos. Flames rise into the night, guards scatter, and by dawn, rumors spread of famine. Grain shipments stall, prices surge, people argue in markets. The empire's heart begins to tremble. The genius of the campaign isn't destruction, it's doubt. Rome's citizens wake to find their water gone, their food burning, their leaders confused. The Praetorian Guard organizes patrols, but every time they march out, they find nothing but silence and shadows. The SEALs don't just fight Rome's army, they fight Rome's confidence. And confidence is an empire's most fragile supply line. By night 4, Rome is rattled. Water is broken, grain is burning, and whispers of demons spread through villages. The Senate orders the Praetorian Guard to restore order. Elite by Roman standards, these soldiers guard emperors, crush riots, and project power. But tonight, they ride straight into a trap. Near a narrow stretch of road outside the coastal town of Ardea, drones spot a Praetorian convoy. 30 men, fresh mounts, a supply cart loaded with coin and rations. The SEALs wait in silence, rifles leveled, grenadiers ready. At exactly heure 2 Mao, the ambush begins. The first grenade arcs through the night, exploding beneath the lead horse. Chaos erupts instantly, riders thrown, men screaming. A second grenade slams into the supply cart, sending coins and fire across the road. Then the rifles open up. Suppressed shots crack like snapping twigs, dropping targets one by one. It's over in less than 20 seconds. 30 elite guards cut down before a single sword clears its scabbard. The SEALs vanish into the dark, leaving behind burning wreckage and dead silence. No survivors, no explanation, just whispers of shadows with thunder in their hands. By sunrise, rumors race faster than horses. The Praetorian Guard, Rome's most feared protectors, were slaughtered without warning, without mercy, without even seeing their enemy. To the Senate, this is unthinkable. To the people, it's worse. If the Emperor's guards can be destroyed in seconds, who can protect anyone? The SEALs don't just win battles. They write legends in fear. By night 5, panic grips the empire. Aqueducts shattered, grain stores aflame, and Praetorians dead on the road. The Senate has no choice but to strike back. Orders fly across the city. More patrols, roadblocks, watchtowers doubled in strength. Riders gallop day and night, carrying warnings to every town within reach. Rome is awake, and it is hunting. But the SEALs aren't invincible. Ammunition stocks are thinning. Drones that once scouted for miles now run on rationed batteries. Night vision goggles dim as their power fades. Each bullet, each charge, each grenade is another tick off the clock. And fatigue sets in. 5 nights of combat. 5 nights of silence broken by gunfire and fire. Muscles ache. Eyes blur. Fever starts to creep in from the swamp. For all their training, they are still human. And the Romans are endless. The empire adapts. Patrols travel in larger groups. Decoys set fake camps to bait the demons. Priests tell villagers to pray against evil spirits. But fear spreads faster than faith. Every shadow looks like an ambush. Every sound at night becomes thunder in the imagination. For the SEALs, it's a war on 2 fronts. Against Rome's numbers and against their own limits. Their strategy works, but the clock is running out. The empire is wounded, but far from broken, and the SEALs know, if they don't finish this campaign soon, Rome will simply drown them in soldiers, one wave at a time. Night 7. The SEALs are out of time. Ammunition is running low, batteries nearly dead, fevers spreading through the platoon. They know they can't win a long war. The only chance left is one bold strike. Cut off the head of the empire before the empire cuts them down. At midnight, they slip onto a stolen fishing boat and drift silently up the Tiber River. No torches, no voices, just the sound of water against wood. Rome sleeps, unaware that its greatest nightmare is floating beneath its walls. Near the palace district, they find a rusted sewer grate. A small block of C4 muffled under wet rags cracks it open with barely a whisper. One by one, the SEALs crawl inside, waist-deep in filth, moving through the darkness with rifles raised. They emerge beneath the kitchens of the imperial palace. Teams split. One moves to cut the lights. Another preps flashbangs for the guard posts. The third advances on the regent's chamber. Timing is everything. In a blur, it begins. Flashbangs explode in marble corridors, blinding Praetorian guards before swords even leave their scabbards. Suppressed rifles bark once, twice. Silence follows. Doors are breached with crowbars and charges. No thunder, just precision. Within minutes, the regents of Rome are zip-tied on the floor. The Praetorian prefect lies dead, and the heart of the empire is bleeding fear. The strike takes less than 10 minutes. No alarms. No survivors to warn. When dawn rises, the palace is silent, its command shattered. For the first time in centuries, Rome wakes leaderless. By sunrise, the Roman Empire is paralyzed. The regents are gone. The Praetorian prefect is dead, and the palace echoes with silence. No flames, no invading army, no banners raised, just fear. Rome, the city that ruled the world, has been humiliated in a single week by 100 men. But conquest is not the same as collapse. The SEALs have no reinforcements. Their magazines are nearly empty. Night vision batteries fade, drones fall silent, and sickness spreads from the swamps. For all their victories, they cannot hold power forever. If word reaches the legions, hardened veterans stationed across Britannia, Judea, and Germania, Rome will rally. And when tens of thousands march back to the capital, the SEALs' fate is sealed. So could they conquer Rome? Yes, but only for a moment. They could decapitate leadership, spread panic, and fracture confidence. The empire would stumble, governors might rebel, and rivals could seize the throne. For years, legends would swirl, demons with thunder in their hands, creatures that owned the night. Rome would never forget them. In reality, the seals would vanish as quickly as they came, their campaign remembered not as a dynasty, but as a scar. They wouldn't raise flags or rewrite borders. What they'd leave behind is something far more dangerous. Fear. Fear that the gods themselves had walked among men. And that's the essence of these scenarios. Not rewriting history, but asking the question, what if? If you enjoyed this clash of modern and ancient, subscribe for more epic war scenarios. Today it was seals versus Rome. Tomorrow, the impossible may get even crazier.